and welcome to today's tutorial. This tutorial is for A3 Brightspace assignment, upload/download. So to get started, we're going to review our assignment sheet. Your assignment sheet can be found on our Brightspace page. Go to Content, and there you will find our A3 Brightspace assignment. Please download this assignment sheet so you can have the proper information. So once we have our assignment sheet, you'll notice that it is AMCA 83 is our assignment number, Brightspace, upload, and download. Due next week, September 29th, just before our next class. So for our introduction, before cloud-based systems took over for file transfer, there were FTP programs, File Transfer Protocol. These programs were designed to transfer large files securely. The college was still using these up to 5 years ago. However, over the last couple years, we have adopted Brightspace, which will be our main resource this year. There are, of course, many more ways to transfer files. While CDs, DVDs, and USBs are drifting out, OneDrive, Dropbox, WeTransfer, Google Drive, and many more cloud-based systems are where the industry is headed. Assignment. The purpose of this assignment is to learn the basics of Brightspace, how to download and upload a file. For this assignment, we will create a basic InDesign file while downloading an image and using a few of your own, while able to upload the finished project to Brightspace. Our objective: log into Brightspace, download the supplied image, make a 6.5 by 7.5 InDesign page layout, add a supplied photo to you download, add your first name and last name, save the file using the proper naming conventions as discussed in our lecture today, package this InDesign file, compress the main folder, and submit to Brightspace. Job specs. This will be important each and every assignment to make sure you get the right criteria. Document size, 6.5 by 7.5. Our margin, which we will discuss early on, is 1.25. Our image size is 3 by 3. Text box, 1 by 6. And add any extra colors and play with fonts. So if you haven't already accessed it, here is the website for our Brightspace. You can also get it on the NSCC website. On all of my assignments, I'll tell you what you need to submit it. I won't always be providing this information with your naming conventions, but for the first few assignments, I'll help you out. Next is my criteria, which will give you exactly what I'm marking, exactly the count of what it's worth, and what exactly I'm looking for. So if you're ever curious, always refer to your assignment sheet. Last but not least, here is an example of what we're going for today's assignment. So we're going to create a document, and we're going to upload a supplied photo that I will be giving to you through Brightspace. You're going to have a picture of yourself, your favorite photo you've ever taken, and then a picture of your choice. So it's a little bit of a get to know you through this online system, while also using the tools that we're going to continue to use every week. So hopefully everyone has had a chance to go through and download InDesign from the email that NSCC has sent you earlier this week. So if you haven't done so, please go do that now and follow their instructions. I'm going to continue this tutorial as if you have InDesign up and running and you've logged in with your account. So here's InDesign. This is what you'll see when you first open it up. And we're going to the right-hand side to select Create New. All right, so this will be your pretty basic setup when we open InDesign, but we're going to focus on the left-hand side. So right off the bat, I can type in my assignment name provided on the assignment sheet. So this is our naming convention. So we have our program, AMCA underscore A3 for the assignment number. Brightspace is our one-word description, underscore your last name. From there, we can input the width and the height. Make sure you are working in inches. So we have 6.5, like our assignment sheet said, followed by 7.5. We're going to keep our portrait orientation, and if facing pages is selected, you're going to deselect it, so no facing pages. Once reviewed, we're going to go to our margin. So as we discussed on our assignment sheet, we need to input the values for our margin. The margin is designed to give you a space between the edge of the paper and where you want the important information on your print to be. This allows wiggle room for cutting edges, so if you have an image that wants to fall off the side, you won't get that white little sliver of piece of paper when you're cutting it. But most importantly, if you had text or like an essay or something or a magazine article, you don't want your body of text or your words or the important information to fall off the side when cutting. So the margin gives you a safety area around the edge of the page to keep your important information. So we're going to select margin, drop down menu, and as our assignment sheet says, we're going for 0.25 inches. So this is 1/4 of an inch. Make sure you have your little link selected on the side, and this means that when you type in 1.25, all the other sides will match. If you break the link, you can change the size. You'll notice none of my other sizes changed. So we'll keep our 0.25 and our link intact. So now we're ready to create. Select create in the bottom corner. And here is our page. So you can see right off the bat here is our white page with our purpley pink line, which shows us our margin. So this 1/4 of an inch in between is our safety area that we don't want any important information going past this purple line. So next we will start with our toolbar. This toolbar can be found on the left-hand side. We are looking for a rectangle frame tool. So you'll probably find 2 rectangle tools next to each other, whether it's up and top and bottom or side to side. The difference here is the rectangle tool is what you've probably used in Paint, where you just straight up draw a rectangle or a square, fill in the color, and you're good to go. Whereas the rectangle frame tool, which is what we will use a lot more this year, is designed as a placeholder. So most people know Photoshop, some people have heard of Illustrator. Photoshop is designed to work with photos. Illustrator is designed to deal with illustrations, logos, and more graphics than photos. InDesign is designed to marry all the pieces together. So you have a photographer out for a magazine, takes pictures, edits them. They're going to supply them to somebody who does layout. You have someone doing graphics and different pieces in Illustrator, then they're also going to supply them to the layout designer. So the layout designer uses InDesign to place a page and get the formatting so you have the nice aesthetic of a magazine or think of National Geographic, that it's going to be the same almost every month. It has the same basic layout. So with this, the designer doing the layout is going to want to put pieces together even before the photographer submitted their photos or somebody submitted their text or their articles. So this rectangle frame tool is designed to make a spot and save the spot with the X so that you know something is going to go there. So we'll select the rectangle frame tool, and then you'll notice that you'll get this registration marker, the little hashings for a cursor. That means that your tool is in effect. So we're going to click with the left side of our mouse, and it'll show a rectangle and wants dimensions. So in our assignment sheet, we listed that our image size was 3 inches by 3 inches. So we're typing 3 inches wide by 3 inches tall. Okay. So in InDesign, you'll notice your cursor kind of stays with what you were working on. So if I were to go and try and move the current box, I'm only going to create another box. So you can use the key command, Command Z or Control Z, depending on if you're working with Mac or a PC. Otherwise, you can go to Edit, Undo. So now we've removed that extra box. So in order to move this frame that we've created, we're going to have to go to our top corner on our left-hand side and click the Selection tool. So this is the dark arrow up in the top left-hand corner. So this is going to be really important in between each tool that you use to make sure you go back to your selection tool. So once we use the selection tool, we can select our box and now we can move it. We're going to move this first box into the top left-hand corner. Now we're going to copy this box, and there's many different ways to do this, so we're going to show you a few. So I've selected the box, and you can tell because the little white boxes have appeared on the outside. We're going to go to Edit, Copy, and then we're going Edit, Paste. So now we've created a duplicate, a second box. So I'm going to drag that box up to the top right-hand corner, and you can see all these little graphics that appear. These are your smart guides, and they're going to help it snap into place to make sure it goes in the right spot. So now we need 2 more boxes below, so I'm going to try a different way to copy and paste. So having this second box selected, I'm going to right-click with the mouse, copy, right-click again with the mouse, paste. So now we're sliding this down into the bottom left-hand corner. So for anyone who is very comfortable with a computer, maybe played video games, maybe already spent some time in Photoshop or Illustrator or even InDesign, then you'll know that we have some copy and paste key commands. So these also work. So if you're on a Mac, you can use Command C and Command V. And if you're on a PC, Windows computer, you're going to use Control C for copy and Control V for paste. So now with my third box selected, I'm going to hit Command or Control C. I've copied it, and now we're going Command or Control V to paste. And I'll move that fourth and final box into the bottom right corner. So this is now we've got made placeholders for each of our images. So bring up our assignment sheet again, and we'll review. We want our supplied photo in the top left-hand corner, a picture of yourself in the top right, your favorite photo you've ever taken in the bottom left, and any picture of your choice in the bottom right. So let's go get our supplied photo. So we are going to open Brightspace. You'll find your print production class, select content, and then you're going to go to select week 3, so September 22nd. So in week 3, you will find our lecture, you'll hear the audio, and just the PDF copy. Brightspace, A3, so this is where you will find our assignment sheet that we've been discussing today. and you'll find the folder like we used for the A1 samples. It's our A3 upload when we're finished the assignment. And new this week is A3 underscore supplied. So this A3 supplied is the supplied image that I am providing to you for this assignment. So on the right, you'll see a little drop down arrow, and we select download. So everyone's browser is going to be different. This might look different. I'm using Chrome as my main browser, but either way, everyone has a folder on their computer somewhere named downloads. So find your downloads folder, and that's where you should find the file we just downloaded. So I'm providing a zip folder. So like our A1, we had to upload a zip or compressed folder. Well, Brightspace also requires me to upload them for you to download. I know, confusing. So A3 supplied, you're going to double click the zip folder and it will open an A3 underscore supplied JPEG. So first things first, we've now got a supplied folder file. So if you remember from our lecture, we need to create a proper folder system. So on my desktop, I'm going to right click and select new folder. So here we are. So on the right, we can right click and we can rename this folder to match our main folder naming convention. So it's provided on your assignment sheet this week, but I'm also typing it here. So we're looking for AMCA underscore A3 underscore last name. When we open this folder up, we can create a subfolder inside called supplied. So, any guesses what goes in our supplied folder? We're going to add the image we just downloaded. So open back up your downloads folder and you're going to drag the A3 supplied JPEG into our supplied folder. So here we are. AMCA, A3 last name, supplied folder, our supplied image. Now we can open up InDesign again. So in our top left-hand frame, we're going to make sure it is selected. So you can see the graphics, the little boxes, and you're going File, Place. So this is something that's very unique to InDesign. Most of the time we would just drag a file from a folder into whatever we're working on. InDesign doesn't like that. So InDesign works on links. So this means that if, once again, we'll go back to the magazine reference, you have a photographer on staff, he's doing his photos, he edits his photos, and he supplies the layout designer the photo. So you link the photo, you place it into InDesign, and then maybe a couple days go by and this photographer has decided to re-edit the photo. All that you need to do is update the link, and InDesign will automatically know that there's a change and upload it, as long as the graphic is placed. So everything you do this year, make sure you place the image into InDesign. So once again, we'll select our frame, select File, Place. So once we've placed the graphic, we can go to our desktop, we find our main folder, supplied folder, and there's our supplied image. And we'll open. So something a little strange about InDesign is sometimes it'll crop your images. So it just puts them in at the size that they are and crops them. So when that graphic is selected, once again you can see the little white boxes, you can right click and we'll go to fitting, fill frame proportionately. So what this will do is take your graphic and fit it so that it's no longer cropped and it fits in the box best you can. If you see there's a little circle that shows up in the middle of your graphic with the hand, this allows you to move it. So you'll see there's a brown box that's kind of floating. That's the actual size of your image. So sometimes the brown box will exceed your frame, and that's okay. You can just move it however you want it to fit. All right. So I've already pre-downloaded the next pieces for the images. So we have our supplied folder in place. We have a picture of ourselves that's needed, your favorite photo you've ever taken, and any picture of your choice. So I'm now going to place these graphics. So in the top right-hand corner, we've selected this box, File, Place, and this one is a picture of me already found on my desktop. But these images should also be placed in our supplied folder. So I'm going to do that first. So on my desktop, I have my main folder. We have our supplied folder. So this is the image I supplied to you. And this is the raw images that I'm going to keep in my folder so that I know where everything is. So we've opened Brights InDesign again, selected this box, File, Place, and in my main folder, I have my supplied folder with my images that I'm placing. So I'm placing an image of myself, which once again, creepy. We're going to right click, fitting, fill frame proportionally. Much better. So now we're going to the bottom left, File, Place. This is the favorite photo you've ever taken. Right click, fitting, fill frame proportionally. Now we have the last one in the bottom right, File, Place. This is the image of your choice. Right click, fitting, fill frame proportionally. So now we have all the images required. So our next task is to go for the type tool. So the T, kind of the same everywhere. So we'll select our type tool and we're creating a box. So the assignment sheet says 1 by 6, but I know that that is this white space in between the images. So we've created a box and it's not quite in the right spot. So we go back up to our dark arrow, our selection tool, and now we can manipulate this box using the corners to put it in place with our smart guides. So now we have a 1 by 6 box. So we can use our type tool, and once you'll see the familiar cursor that is in every typing program. So you're going to type your name, not the words your name. You're literally going to type your name. Apparently I can't type. Your name. So now on our right hand side, you can start to kind of play around with some fun features. So I'm going to select red because it's in 2 of my graphics. I'm going to pick a new font. You can see I have some downloaded already. There's some variations. I'm going to change the typeset to 20 or maybe even 60. I'm going to align to center. And there's always some couple little features here hidden on the side to kind of help things. However, I'm just going to leave it as is. So you are allowed to move this box. If you have OCD like myself, you can move your name to fit it in. As long as the box stays 1x6, you can move the frame wherever you'd like. Now, that is our assignment. So something that's kind of tricky and inconvenient with InDesign, and I have no good explanation for it, you must save your assignment before you can package it. Once you package your assignment, it has a saved copy of this working file within your package folder. So why it makes you save it twice, I don't know, but that's what we got to do. So we've already named our working file correctly. So now we are going to go File, Save. So if you see this little star asterisk in the top corner, that means your file has not been saved. So we're going File, Save. So it's just double checking. File Save As. We're saving it on our desktop so we can find it later. We're hitting Save. So you'll see this pink InDesign file. That is your working file. This white extra one with the squiggly at the front just means the file is still open. So if I close it, it disappears. So with our InDesign file still open and we've saved it, we're going File, all the way to the bottom, Package. So this is the most important feature that we have to offer here with InDesign. So what this does is it gathers all the pieces, everything you have, and puts it all together in one folder so you don't have to do the legwork. So you're going to File, Package. We have our summary, so it's showing us that we have 4 links, so 4 images. We have 1 font in use across all the information. So it even tells you what font you are, what links, the names that they have, our colors that we would use for printing, which we'll get into later, and all kinds of extra pieces. So at this point, you can double check here that everything's accounted for. It will tell you if you've got a missing link, but most of the time you should be good to go. So we'll package. So once again, on our desktop, if you don't have this big window, there's usually this little arrow next to where you are saving it, and this will help give you the full picture. So we're saving it to our desktop. We have our copy fonts, copied links, IDML, and our PDF, like discussed in the lecture. Package. So it does all the work for you. So here you will see our folder, AMCA A3 Brightspace _ last name, and it adds the word folder. That's how you know that it's been packaged by InDesign. You can leave that word. That's okay. So we're going to open our main folder here, and we're going to click and drag this package folder into our main folder. And like I said, it's weird. We have this extra Brightspace or InDesign file, and if you open our package folder, there it is again. So this original one that you saved to your desktop can actually be erased, and you'll see that I still have the full working file with our fonts that we used, the links that we used, everything else is already in our main folder. So that is the assignment. So last but not least, once you have this main package folder, select it. We're going to right click and compress. We've now created a zip folder. So you can open Brightspace back up. We have our A3 upload. And you can upload somewhere this assignment. All right, that's it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to use the chat. Use this video, stop, play it, record again and again, and there you'll have it.